now, but we had footage from the Focus TV Network family and our mascot Zoe and all the incredible footage there. And we want to give you guys an update today because our family was on CNN yesterday.
Isn't that crazy? Literally crazy.
It was crazy how it all happened and unfolded. I mean, they woke up in the morning, take Zoe out, and there's ABC7. They've been ordered to evacuate, and they're capturing it all right from the house, which is crazy. And then, you know, coming to the studio here at Focus and talking about it on Good Morning LaLa Land. Next thing you know, the family is getting a call from CNN. Cars picking them up, rush to the studio to tell, you know, the world what's happening here in LA. It was an incredible moment for us just to be a part of that conversation and that dynamic, really.
I know,
right?
I was excited about it. Zoe was surprisingly relaxed. I was like, Zoe is like total zen all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
So we've got a great show in store for you today. We're going to show you, kind of give a recap of what's going on with all the fires, kind of give you some tips of how to get prepared for fires, because whether you're dealing with that now or we need to all be prepared. We've got Gerry Lerner in the back studio right now. I don't know if we can cut over him right now, but Gerry, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. So Gerry's going to be with us today. He's an incredible part of our family here at Focus TV. He's a photographer. He's actually moved here from New York, and we want to know why he loves LA so much. So give us a couple reasons why you came to LA, Gerry.
Well, I got to say that I've always wanted to be in California. It's such a great energy here. It's a little different from New York City, a little more laid back, but I really like it. I just published my first paperback, The Nighthawk Deception, and it's a great place to also pitch it for a feature and a series.
I agree. So, I mean, isn't this the dream, you guys, right?
Absolutely.
That's the whole point of being in LA, is people like Gerry that are up to their dreams. They're, you know, they're just fulfilling upon all those things that are driving them, right?
Yeah, that's what I love so much about LA, is that it actually represents a place where real opportunity is realized. And Gerry's a great example of that, photographer, author of The Nighthawk Deception. Jeslyn, you and I were talking about that a little earlier, and you were clear about moving to LA at a very young age, right?
I was so clear about that. I worked my way through college bartending so I could get myself to LA on a hope, on a prayer, in search of a dream and eternal sunshine. And I'm here, and I've been focused on that. But I know it wasn't always like that for you, Rob.
Yeah, I flipped a coin.
He did. Oh my God. No, he used to call me, should I not?
It's expensive, it's far. What about the smog and the fires? And, you know,
Rob, you're so positive, and you just listed all the negative
I
things.
know, that's exactly. So we all have our moments. And I readily admit that. But I'm so glad that I made the move to LA. It's just been fantastic. I get to hang out with these two beautiful ladies, and you know, it truly is the land of opportunity.
Right. So we're looking forward. We're going to actually have some time up here talking about the fires, talking about some current events in Los Angeles, and then we're going to take you to the back studio with Gerry. So stay tuned. He's going to give us some tips on getting a great headshot, all the stuff. So now we're going to re-roll some of the footage from yesterday. Okay, we're going to watch CNN is what we're going to bring in right now. So let's take a look at what's coming on the screen. I actually have another monitor I can look right here and see.
Family from their home, which is about 2 miles from the Getty. And Felicia, tell me what went through your mind. You're in North Bel Air, right? And you got out with your twin sons, your 11-year-old daughter, your dog, your husband, and you just all of a sudden had to pack up. Tell me about how this all went down.
Yeah, thank you. It was very scary. Actually, I got a phone call from 2 friends in the morning who told me look in my backyard, and we did just that, and the flames were right there. And we live about 2 miles from the Getty, and we just started panicking. We didn't know what to do. So we hadn't been told to evacuate, but we were going to evacuate. So we just started thinking, my husband said, just take anything that you think you might need. Everything can be replaced. Let's just get out of here. And he was right.
I know the poor Instagram people are
that we had to pack up and leave, and to pack a bag and take anything that you think is important. But it made me realize how unprepared we really were.
And at this point in time, as I understand it, the wind is blowing the fire the opposite direction, but of course you still have concerns about your house, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it couldn't have been closer. And if the wind direction changes, which we're still keeping an eye very carefully because we are now evacuated, but if the wind changes, then by all means, it's going to come right up our hillside and to our home.
All right,
So
Felicia, stand by for me for 1 minute. I want to bring back Felicia Waldman, who is evacuated from her home in North Bel Air, not far from that. And Felicia, could you see that report? Could you see the photo,
Yes.
the pictures that we were getting in?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so I mean,
it's
even
crazy.
just in that
It's-
time, we were seeing them make progress. I know you can't fully exhale yet, but as you see them working there not far from your house, what do you think?
Well, it's a very scary thing leaving your home and not knowing if you're going back. And just that my whole body was numb this morning thinking about, you know, could I have taken something else? But actually my first thought was I have an elderly neighbor next door. So as I was leaving, I told one of the guards, you know, if we were just told to evacuate, if this is a very serious evacuation and the flames start coming, please go and check on her. But you know, I can only watch the news now, and it's just very scary, the thought of going home to no home.
No, very, very scary, humbling, as you had said. And Felicia,
Very humbling.
thank you for being
makes
on.
you-
Sorry, go on.
I know it just makes you think that you really need to be prepared. And we've moved here from the East Coast, and you know, people tell you to be prepared, but in the past 8 years, we really haven't listened. And I'm definitely going home today to go through all the things that I did throw in my car and maybe pare them down and have an actual emergency bag for an earthquake or for a fire, because we definitely were not prepared today, and it was very scary.
It's so important, and thank you so much for saying that, Felicia. And look, you have what's important: your kids and your husband
right.
and
Nothing
your
else
dog,
matters.
who's a part of the family. And we appreciate you being on to talk about it. Thank
Nothing
you.
else matters except the 5 of us, for sure.
That is so right, Felicia Waldman.
What an incredible day Felicia had, part of our Focus family. By the way, rocking that Focus hat on CNN, she looked incredible, but she was, you know, talking about being prepared and being prepared as a mother and a wife and a homeowner. And I mean, the lessons you learn in a time like this.
Yeah. None of us think it's ever really going to happen to us, right?
Of course. That's
So
true.
important to be prepared. So speaking of, Los Angeles Times did tweet out yesterday, I believe, how to be prepared. So we're going to talk about that for a minute. So it says that basically most people just think photos, right? We just think those few little things. But basically it says that we should have non-perishable foods in our home so we can take it with us if we want also. So whether we have to be there or go. It also says 1 gallon of water per day for at least a 3-day supply of water. So that'd be 3 gallons of water minimum. I have a lot more than that. And then a first aid kit, flashlight, prescription medications, change of clothing, sanitation supplies, cell phone chargers, and the basics. And also goes on to say you should think about your pets. You know, what do you need for the pet? Have it supplied by the door, somewhere you can grab stuff, whatever that is. And then also you should have all of your paperwork that you need to have, like insurance policies, identification cards, and records. Things that you need that if you left your home, let's just pretend that it burned down, you need at least those basic things so you can, you know, go down and get some things taken care of. Also, it says leave windows and doors locked and take down all the drapes in your home, because if the fire does come, that's going to, you know, fuel it even more. And what else? Let's see. It says air conditioning, gas, everything should be turned off. So I would get prepared. You know, where do you turn off your gas outside of your home or whatever? I don't know that. I need to know that.
I'm insanely unprepared. I didn't realize. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's funny because I think about being prepared for an earthquake in Los Angeles, but I haven't really considered the fire risks.
Absolutely. And I come from Hurricane Central down there in South Florida, and like half that list I'm okay on, but the other half completely not even on the radar.
No, I'm prepared for traffic. I keep a Big Bang or a Cliff Bar in my purse in the car. That's about it.
Right?
That's fantastic.
I was just thinking about like how many clothes I could fit in my bag.
You know, it's been hard to find. You know?
I'm like, these are irreplaceable.
They're like, no.
These fires have had such a massive impact on the county of Los Angeles. 450 acres are burning in the Skirball fire right now. It's affected over 46,000 people.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the 4 major fires that are happening in Southern California right now.
Right. It also says that you should have at least 2 evacuation plans for your home. So imagine that you actually have the fire comes to your home. So how can you get out, and trying to plan what those different routes are for your family. And then it also goes on to make a list of emergency kits, and you can find it all at Los Angeles Times. It goes everything from, you know, your non-prescription medications and contact lens solution, things that you you should think about, like, if I need to survive out of my house for a few days, what is it that I need to survive with, right?
Yeah, definitely. Boy, I got Boy Scouts survival skills coming in handy. I didn't,
Were you a Boy
realize
Scout?
I wasn't, but I had friends that were, so they gave me the Cliff Stilts version. But still, I'm so grateful for this list, because without it, I would have no clue. You know?
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Just gets us
Fantastic.
thinking, right? So again, yesterday what happened was, I mean, we have had fires up in Ventura. We have 4 different fires across. Oh, and by the way, you guys, so yesterday on the show we asked, because there was all these different fires that started, and we were curious, like, what happens? Is it the embers that come over, or is it like just the consciousness that happens? So I asked Christina Pascucci, who's a dear friend of mine who's on KTLA every morning, and she said, actually, it's a combination of both, because she's been researching this. Sometimes it's embers, and then sometimes there's just this fluke kind of phenomenon that happens during fire season, that it's actually just random ones will start.
Wow, it's incredible, right? It really does invite you to have a deeper appreciation for the mystery and awe and wonder of the world. I mean, it's just wild.
Mother Nature is a beast.
Yes, yes. You do not want to play with Mother Nature. You do not want to play with Mother Nature.
And weird that we had the supermoon right before all this happened, right? So you wonder, like, what's stirring up in our consciousness and, you know, globally and everything else.
Yeah, it certainly feels like there's definitely a shift happening, right? On all
Oh my
levels.
gosh, guess what our tagline?
Shift,
Where
right?
shift happens.
But Erin, you bring up an interesting point about, you know, manifesting in the energy. Do you think that it is part of the conscious of LA that is literally burning it to the ground?
I wouldn't put it quite that way. I do think that the consciousness of LA is it's certainly a special place. I've experienced, like, the energy here is so much different than energy that of anywhere else I've been in the world. It really is, and I think that's both
How
a
so?
challenge. I have found that it's a place that you can be a lot more free with your ideas and a lot sort of free, more creative in terms of your the creative spirit as well. So that's a beautiful thing. I think it can be a challenge in other ways, because sometimes it's also a very materialistic kind of energy. It can be sometimes a very sort of physical energy that you feel. So it's both challenging, and there's huge opportunities.
I always think of it like heaven and hell. Like LA
That's a good way of
is,
putting it.
it has such this magnified energy here that you can have your dreams, you know, compounded and exponentially known, and you can also, you know, make poor choices and end up in the, you know, the slumps of, you know, addiction. Like, you can do, and you can create whatever you want here, and it's magnified.
That's why it's so important to be intentional here.
I
found it's more important to be intentional in LA than almost anywhere else, because you're absolutely right. You don't realize it, but you can suddenly slide in one direction or the other.
Or your GPS just keeps rerouting.
That happens too. That's precisely what I was referring to.
But literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Because before I really understood the concept of being intentional, I found myself very lost and very misguided. And I really did feel like almost that the universe or God had kind of lost the GPS of my life. And I was just spinning in a circle. And it was like I kept making left turn after left turn after left turn and just going around the same place. And I wasn't getting anywhere.
Wow, boy, that sounds familiar. That does, but you're right. That's been my experience too, is that I think we all have an inner GPS, and then there's the outer GPS. And I have found myself lost in both at times, right? So that's such a great point, Jessamine.
So how do you align them, Erin? How do you align that inner and outer GPS of your life?
Oh, it's great. Well, you know, just getting back to the today, you know, the fires and everything else, I think that we spoke a lot about de-stressing and not dealing with being overwhelmed. So I think today is a really important day for all of us to consciously connect, knowing that we are an incredible community here, that there is community, and staying present and not getting too scattered in all the overwhelming news. Getting done what we truly need to focus on today. Number one, for sure.
Yeah, the one thing that we know from science too is that emotion is very contagious, right? So what other people are feeling, you tend to feel, and also what you feel, you also spread to other people, and it happens on an unconscious level. So it's good to be aware of what you're feeling and to sort of try to deal with that.
Yeah. So back to the fire real quick. So I want to recap that Ojai did not get burned down last night. I guess it was a major threat last night.
Wow, that's great.
And so Ojai survived a night of being surrounded by intense fires. Someone says it was truly a miracle. So I don't know what other things, if you know about the freeway system, what's going on, so we can let people know about that.
The 405 is back open, but there has been an effect on the highways. The 210, still certainly before you leave and go anywhere, you might want to double check your routes today. Check on the news, KTLA, KABC, because they're doing some great updates on the traffic.
Okay,
the
great.
Carmageddon that's happening.
Yep. So we're going to actually take a break right now, and a second segment, we're going to actually talk about a few incredible events and things happening in Los Angeles. So it's not all bad news. There's some incredible events this week we're going to talk about, and then we're going to go into the back studio with Gerry Lerner and talk about how to fulfill upon your dreams in Los Angeles. So stay tuned, you guys.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Odiva TV. And right now we're in the Focus TV studios in Hollywood.
Happy Wednesday, Empoweristas. It's Alex Worley.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paffrath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the world.
Hi, this is Alyssa Goodman Show, and I am Alyssa Goodman.
You're watching Beige Bay TV. It's fitness expert and your Beige Bay, Edwina Chia.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Gillette with Focus TV, and this is the Spotlight Series.
Hey LA, I'm Gwen Lane with the LA Girl.
Hey everybody, Terry here, host of the interview series, Success Beyond Beauty.
Hi, I'm Fern Olivia, and welcome to Central Intelligence TV.
Hi, I'm Janica. I'm here with Focus TV for my segment of Fearless Females.
La La Land. I'm so excited because now we're going to talk about some current events going on in the heart of Los Angeles, and we're also going to be going back to see Gerry Lerner. He's in the back studio right now. Are you there, Gerry?
Hey guys, I'm here. It's great to be here.
Great to have you.
Amazing. So Gerry has a great book right here. We're going to talk all about it. It's The Nighthawk Deception, and it has some kind of science based in it around immortality. So Gerry, I know that in Los Angeles, everyone wants to look young and hot. So give us just a couple like snippets of what that means and how they can kind of get an insight within your book.
Well, my book primarily deals, it's an action thriller. It's a very exciting read. But the catalyst in the book is anti-aging, cures for cancer, etc. The anti-aging is based in the story on factual studies right now that are going on in laboratories all around the world. So I've done a tremendous amount of research with it. You could look at the CRISPR technology, DNA enhancement, and that's really what's going to slow down in the near future our aging process.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to get back on that sofa and dive deep into that conversation. You're speaking my language,
right?
Right?
Anti-aging.
Right? And I swear, it looks like he's reverse aging as time goes on. He walked in here looking great and young, and now he looks even greater and younger.
Yeah, it's the incredible lights.
I know, right? The lights. The lights are the best thing ever. I need these lights and cameras everywhere I go.
That's fantastic.
So let's talk about the current events. So what's going on this week in Los Angeles?
Well, there are obviously some amazing things that are happening, but I really want to focus and highlight something that's really near and dear to my heart. The Girls Build Leadership Summit is coming up. And that is so important. LA, you can get involved. Over 10,000 girls are involved in this, and their keynote speaker this year is Hillary Clinton.
It's December 15th at Los Angeles Convention Center, so it's so important. I was reading about it. It's epic that in 2015, women held 25% of all science, technology, engineering, and math, and only the Latinas and Black only held 1 to 3%. So what's up?
Wow, yeah, that deserves attention for sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's time.
Yeah, it's a question. Absolutely.
I mean, you go, well, in LA, we have all this sexual harassment stuff. The men are dropping like flies around here, you guys. We need some, or clearly the universe is like ready for us to have some, neutrality around this and have the growth, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting you mentioned that, because one of the things that I wanted to mention was, I don't know if you saw, did you see the Time magazine cover?
Oh, no.
No? Did you see it?
Person of the Year has been announced. Drum roll.
I don't know any of this, so you guys are going to have to give me the lowdown.
The Silence Breakers.
Yeah,
right?
the Silence Breakers. What does that mean? Well, it is the women who have come out, who have spoken against sexual harassment this year, including, accusations that were made by Taylor Swift, just
Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd, exactly. So they're really celebrating the women who have had the strength and the courage to speak out against the unspeakable.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what's interesting about that too is that on the cover you see I think there are 4 or 5 people, and then you see an arm, but you don't see who the arm's attached to. So there's been some mystery around that, and people asking, what's up with this arm?
Right.
And it turns out that it's an anonymous hospital worker who didn't want to reveal her identity, who's also, been a victim of sexual harassment.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so it was a pretty powerful story there on time.
It's such a fascinating time in Los Angeles. I mean, it really is becoming this kind of snowball effect of consciousness. And I believe, you know, we have a tagline, where shift happens, because I believe that there's really a shift here. And bringing fun to it, bringing lightness to it, but also, wow. So the 15th, so tell us a little bit more about the event. Do you know about that event on the 15th?
Well, I am trying. I am trying.
My tabs on my iPad are not working right now.
Yeah,
So.
but what's really most important to focus on is just that we're celebrating the young girls of Los Angeles, and that people like Hillary Clinton and the keynote speakers of BeautyCon are coming together to speak and to encourage these young girls to continue to foster math, science, engineering, but also just to speak up and to own whatever it is, the stories they want to tell, the ideas they want to pursue, and not be afraid to do that. I mean, it's incredible that leaders like that have really focused in and zoned in on the young girls of Los Angeles.
Right, and I do believe in redemption, and I don't believe that we're together as a culture and as one entity. So, you know, Russell Simmons has allegations as well, and I was going up to Tantris, and he stepped down from his position. But you know, when he did, whether those things happened or not, I believe that we have redemption. Like he's created an incredible community around spiritual practice, and like I believe that it's not about making, you know, obviously we have to hold people accountable for whatever has or hasn't happened, but at the same time we have to think about the future. And so I invite everybody out there, whether you are coming out of the silence, whether you can help an organization like the Girls Fund, whether you can create something new, just somehow contributing, right? So what do you guys think about that?
I love it, Erin. Absolutely. I mean, it's such a difficult time, I think, for so many people. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel mixed emotion about it all, because I feel sadness on one hand, and excitement and optimism on the other, because I definitely feel like it's a new chapter, both for LA and the world. You know, and LA's played a really pivotal role in the course of history in leading these kinds of sort of transformative movements across the world.
Well, Rob, I have a question for you, because you are a male leader. And figure, and
what was that again?
no.
One more time.
He said,
in Los Angeles, and do you feel like a new responsibility to speak out, or I mean, how is this affecting you?
Great question.
Yeah, it is a great question, Jeslyn, and I've thought about that a lot, and I feel like right now my role is to listen. I want to listen. You know, I want to be an active listener.
He always listens.
Yeah. I
no one ever
that.
listens to me.
I will listen.
I feel heard.
Yeah,
Ever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I want you to feel heard, and I want women to feel heard, and that's really important to me. Is that folks feel heard and they feel seen.
But what about the men?
Yeah.
Because this is having a tremendous effect on the men of Los Angeles as well.
Absolutely, it is. I would encourage men to listen and to keep their mind and their heart open, because the tendency is to shut down, and then sometimes you have judgments about what's being said or who's saying it, and I don't think that's necessarily that productive. I think it's more important to understand before you attempt to be understood. And so for men, I encourage them to do that, and once they've got to a place where they've processed it and they feel strong and they feel clear about how they want to respond and contribute to that movement, then by all means.
Yeah,
but listening is contributing.
So speaking of listening, there is LA Live Talk, so livetalksla.org. We have Jennifer Lewis. She's actually speaking on, I believe it's this Sunday. Yep,
so
Sunday, December 10th, right? She's from Blackish. And I'm gonna like call out LA Live Talk, so live LA Talks. So out of the 9 speakers they had 9 speakers and 1 woman in their lineup. And so I'm giving a little call out to little what did you say, call out?
What are you calling them out about?
Maybe we need a little bit more speakers. I mean, especially in this time right now in LA, you might want to have a little bit more balance.
Just saying. Balance.
Right? But so Jennifer Lewis, what an amazing woman. And so she was in Blackish. She's kind of been the mother of Black Hollywood, and so I think it should be a great talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely like to hear her perspective, because this show has been revolutionary in its own right, no question about it. You know, for folks that are dealing or challenged with identity issues and assimilation challenges. So I'm interested to hear her perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
So LA Promise Fund, I don't know what that little flag was about. You guys have any idea? Our producer just came with a little flag for something. I'm not quite sure.
Waved in the back studio.
That that's just, we want to really show and promote. We want to give people the opportunity to have more information about the Girls Fund we were just talking about and supporting the local community and the girls here in Los Angeles. If you do want more information about this, we've got the website for you. It's lapromisefund.org. We would really like you to go and check it out and see how you can contribute.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. Now it's up.
Community.
Let's see. See, Andy's like amazing. He's doing all this technology. We now
We're
can like
figuring
show.
it out. Yeah, we're still figuring it out.
Okay, so there's the website.
Absolutely. And let's remind you again, LA, this is a show for you, about you, and we want to focus on the community. So if there is a way that you are giving back and you are supporting the girls in your community, we would love to hear about it and to feature that. Reach out to us on Facebook, on Instagram, leave us a comment on YouTube, because we really want to know how you are, you know, representing and giving back to this community.
Right, yeah. And I don't know if we're going to be down there covering the event or not. But if you are attending it, please send in the footage. We're all about community. We want to bring in your content, what you're doing, how the community is doing.
Yeah,
right?
we're all about empowerment here for sure, right? Yes.
Because it just brings me back to the Saturday night skits of like, because I'm good enough and I'm whatever, and people like me.
Yeah, that's
Validate
right.
Right? So also, just one other funny thing on news, because I've been kind of researching. It's been so fun. But there's this, I have to laugh for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, here comes a siren. So we do have real stuff going on in Los Angeles. So there's a meetup. Okay, so get this. I thought you'd get a kick out of this, Rob. It's called Santa Monica Enlightened Entrepreneur Network, right?
What's that about?
Sounds really cool. I'm like, okay, so check them out. And their next event, I thought it was hilarious because it's called Startup Investor Only Holiday Whiskey Tasting.
There you go. Yeah.
How is this around enlightenment? But
what's wrong with a little whiskey and enlightenment?
Nothing, but I think it's funny. That's so LA.
Yeah. Well, it's like, let's get real conscious by getting unconscious, right? I know that's what you're thinking. And it is interesting, and I think, I don't know if that's been what your experiences have been, but I have noticed that can be a challenge. Like, you want to have a great time, and you want to drink or have alcohol or whatever it is that you love, and at the same time, you're also wanting to do something that's more spiritual. Do you find that to be a challenge, Erin, in LA?
Well, I mean, I don't really drink. I don't not drink, but I really don't drink. I mean, my friends would say I don't drink, put it that way. But I do think there's a balance, and I think it's okay to have both. And I think the whole concept of that you're spiritual and you have to be in this genre of being perfect, or I think it's BS, a belief system that no longer works.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Jess?
Well, you had me at whiskey first.
She's like, I'm in.
I'm in. No, but I think it's interesting because, Rob, you mentioned being conscious, getting unconscious.
Yeah.
And for me personally, and maybe some of you can relate to this, sometimes I feel like having a sip or a cocktail helps me be more conscious, more present, because it removes the fears, the inhibitions, maybe the insecurities that I'm feeling or picking up from, the conscious in the room. It just kind of takes the edge off.
Oh my gosh, totally. That's why I love what you said there, Jessalyn, because one of my very firm beliefs is like, I don't judge anything until you see how it's used, and everything can be used in a way that's productive and profitable and helpful, So I just love that.
Including whiskey.
Including, especially whiskey. Right.
But I do think that
Especially
during the
alcohol.
holidays, we can get conscious as far as how much, what we're purchasing, making the choices, doing things that are maybe purchasing things local, supporting our companies here, supporting our community, things like that. So I think that there's a conscious state of mindset, but then there's also conscious actions.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think for the holidays? How can people become conscious to serve, to give, to do things like that?
Drink as much whiskey as you can, as quickly as you can.
And buy California-made whiskey. Shout out to Breaker Bourbon, made up in Santa Barbara, owned by a good friend of mine. Erin, it's so important, like you said, to focus on celebrating the local community and investing in that. Really, I think that's just a great way of staying present. And
I mean, I don't know what I heard something like a carton of milk if you get it shipped or something like that from far away. Not a carton of milk, maybe something different, from whatever, from China, something, and not to want to purchase things from different places around the world, but just even the fuel alone to have it shipped is so harmful to our environment. So the more we can buy locally, support locally, it's good. It's really good for the synergy around our community, whatever it is. But there's so many incredible companies and groups and communities in Los Angeles.
We would love to know what your favorite local Los Angeles businesses are, reach out to us on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube, because we'd love to give you a shout out and to check it out and feature it.
Right. Okay, good. So we're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to go into the back studio with Gerry Lerner, and we're going to talk some good stuff, because Gerry's from New York. He has chosen to be in Los Angeles. We want to know why Los Angeles, why he loves it here so much. He's also an incredible photographer. I want to know like tips and tricks to getting a great headshot.
Oh my gosh.
That's so
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that is so
and then we're going to dive deep into his book, because he's actually a very talented author, best-selling, and get into the science around immortality. And so that's what I really want to hear about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back. We're back. Good morning, La La Land. We have our phenomenal friend here, Gerry Lerner. How are ya?
Good morning. Good morning. Wonderful.
Gerry is a dear friend of Focus TV Network. He is a great photographer, and he is an author. This incredible, brilliant book that is The Nighthawk Deception. And I have so many questions about this. So, how are you? So you came to New York. I mean, you came to LA from New York.
That's true.
You're officially here.
You couldn't keep me away.
Well, we could, and you've even got that California tan. We were joking about that on the break.
That's true. That's that comes from a lot of running in the canyons.
So you don't want to miss this, because we're going to talk about some tips and tricks to getting a great headshot. And then we're also going to talk about immortality, because in his book, he had to do a lot of research around the science that's actually really happening in the world around immortality. So if you are superficial like me and you want to look good for the rest of your life,
Erin!
want to share
Don't make yourself sound bad. You are a gorgeous woman who loves to stay gorgeous.
Yeah.
We don't need to say
And if
we're
anybody knows Erin at all, you know she's just the opposite of that in real life.
No.
Deep,
Yeah.
interesting, educated.
Okay, so I want to hear first, like, why LA? You came from New York.
Well, you know, I really love, everyone says it, the climate and being able to be outside year-round. And you can literally, whether you're into biking or hiking or exercise, you do it 365 days a week, a year rather. And
that's a lot of time in one week. That's how immortal he is, okay?
Right.
So it's fantastic. I love the environment, I love the food, I love the people.
Nice.
It's certainly a different style, different lifestyle to New York.
It's a different energy,
Right.
but when you bring that New York energy with you to Los Angeles, it's a real extra tool in your box.
So we have a thing called That's So LA. Like, so coming from New York versus LA, what do you think, if you're like fill in the blank, that's so LA, what would you say?
Walking across a crosswalk, looking at your phone, and not paying any attention to traffic, because in New York you would be dead.
Oh, really?
You would be gone.
You'd be hit people in New York. Yes. Yes.
The
Oh, that's
truth.
so funny.
It's so LA.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Fascinating.
You really got to keep your eyes open in New York.
Interesting. So, okay, so tell us about your book.
Well, The Nighthawk Deception is a classic action thriller. It really has a catalyst of anti-aging, longevity, cures for cancer, as well as really DNA enhancements.
Which is also so LA.
So
This
LA.
is true. But what I've done is I've really weaved a story of a terrific adventure that has to do with Russian mercenaries, the CIA, the Secret Service. It's a classic action thriller that has to do with what's about to happen in about 10, 20, 30 years. So everything that's in the book is real, though it may sound science fiction. I've researched this for many, many years, and all the technology that's talked about here and the discoveries is happening in governmental.
So give us a skinny. Like,
I'll give you the
honestly,
skinny.
give us
Okay.
the skinny.
I'll give you a good example. So there's a medication right now for type 2 diabetes, and this medication is already being tested on humans for anti-aging. The side effect actually slows the aging process down.
Wow.
And do you know how, or like how that happens?
Yes, what it does is it prevents the cells from aging as quickly as they would normally would, which is what we have right now.
We
in our
want some of
systems.
that. If I have to go tell them that I've got type 2 diabetes, I will.
Jerry, you're certainly very well versed in this, but what inspired you to go on this journey of research and then developing that into Nighthawk Deception?
That's a great question. I've always been into exercise and fitness and being healthy. Probably another reason I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay.
That's so LA.
Catch on quick, dear.
But I've always wanted to be an author. And you have to write about something you're passionate about. If you really want to sell it, you really have to get involved with the nuance. And I love this new technology that's coming on. It's called near future technology.
Near future technology?
So interesting.
That's right. That's an actual phrase, and it means just that.
It sounds so blockbuster. That seems like it's like
It does sound very
not so
movie.
near future in post-apocalyptic LA.
It's actually going to be happening in the next 10 to 20, 30 years. All the studies and everything I've researched is happening right now at Harvard, at various universities, governmental, private laboratories. Google just invested $1.5 billion into anti-aging.
Well, couldn't we start it when we're like 21? Can they come out? And not when I'm like in my 40s. Come on, like, no, just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Well, there actually are some studies happening right now that may be even reversing aging. So hang in there.
Where's that?
You know,
Where's that?
Oh no, I'm sorry to cut you off, Rob, but I'm just very curious. You know, Erin and I obviously are very into, you know, staying looking young and fresh. But as a man, how is that affecting you with like anti-aging and reversing? I'm very curious.
Well, as a man, you know, we want to look good, like a woman wants to look good as well. I think I can say that here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually 100 years old. I
need your secret. I think I just found our secret.
Yeah. The secret is delusion. A little delusional.
But it's I'll give you a good example. I'll hit the gym in the morning on a day off for 2 hours, and then I'll have to run 8 miles in the canyon.
You're a former Army Ranger, right?
Wait. Yeah, we want to know that. Wait.
Yeah.
So we want to know. So in the book, it says this is Mitch Flora, a Manhattan-based photographer and former U.S. Army Ranger. Is that you?
The photographer, as far as I'll go with that.
Okay.
I have to swear you to an oath of secrecy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Fair.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Now I really want to know more.
Wink. We won't tell anyone.
Right?
You know.
I love.
But it's something that I started to notice as I was getting a little older. It was a little harder to do these things, and I wanted to find out what can I do to stay healthier longer, to live this healthy lifestyle, and do my next triathlon. And this is what started me on it.
So other than the medications, are there other things they've been talking during this research? Did you find any other things that they were kind of like what?
Oh yeah, there's so much. You've all heard of probably a study, a starvation study, where if you inhibit amount of calories that a person will take in,
we've all heard that.
it'll slow the aging process down. That's real.
What?
That's real.
No, I don't want to believe
that's not
that.
good though. We don't want to tell you. You didn't just hear that, women. We don't
fueling
want.
a lot of fires with that.
I like food too much. I don't know about the rest of you, so I'm not interested. Now the good news is that the scientists have discovered a compound that duplicates the effect of that starvation process, because the body goes into a shutdown.
Oh, wow.
And it goes into a survival mode, and doesn't the cells actually slow down?
Wow.
And reproduce. You actually slow your aging
wow.
down. But no one wants to do that, and it's not very healthy.
No, we're not promoting starving.
No, not at all.
What about intermittent?
Fasting.
Fasting, that's also being studied as well. What I can't wait for them to do is finish the study on the compound that they're working on that will duplicate these effects. Literally, it's going to be a pill.
So interesting.
Wow, fascinating.
Yeah.
Huh?
In the research that you've done, did you come across any of the Ellen Langer studies that she's done at Harvard on mindfulness and the reverse aging process? She's done these studies where she's put folks into like an apartment complex, and she tells them, oh, it's 30 years, you're 30 years younger, pretend that you are, and she goes back 6 weeks later and finds that a lot of their the indicators of aging have reversed themselves.
It's fascinating.
That's part of it, right?
This is very real as well. This is not hooey. It's all in the mind. And if you focus your mind, and Dr. Erin will, she's the expert. But if you focus your mind on this, you can physically change your body. And that's how I run 8 miles on the canyon.
I found sauna work really helped because they said that the cell, if there's toxins, basically my father's a naturopath doctor. He said there's 2 things. You want to detoxify the body, and you want to make sure you get enough supplements, right? So those 2 things together. So I found doing a lot of sauna work really helps kind of. It's amazing what will get freed up, the energy that trying to cope. Like you think about the organs and how much they're just trying to like deal with the toxins. And when you get the toxins out, it frees up a lot of energy to heal itself, to regenerate, to do all those things.
Very true. It's very true. I take a ton of supplements myself. But there are 3 stages of our cells. You have regeneration, you have the death of the cell, and then you have seance. And when the cell goes into a seance, it's in between.
When the cell goes into a seance?
Yeah, it's
it sounds
candles,
like
it's incense.
It sounds like a seance. And it's between the cell living and dying, and it just sits there. But what happens, and until recently, scientists thought, okay, well, that's just what the cell does. But they've recently found out it actually exhibits a lot of toxins.
Right.
So they've just done another study with some proteins that actually get rid of those cells and help newer cells to generate.
Right.
So there's a lot, and a lot of it's in the book, but more in a adventure.
So I was thinking we'd try something totally random right now. Because I've gotten some feedback from the show, and they're like, everything's great. I think people are dying for realness. So just for a minute, like, I just want to know, like, okay, you came here from New York. You're an incredible artist, photographer, and you're an incredible author now. I want to hear, like, how flippin' hard, like, I want the feet up, the shoes up, like, I want to get real, like, what is it, like, how hard was it to get the book done? What were some of the struggles and some of the stuff you've gone through, like, because I think there's so many people out there that want to fulfill their dreams, and they see everybody when the book's already done, they see all that stuff, but they don't see the frickin' struggle that happens behind it.
It's an excellent question. There's an enormous amount of effort that goes into it. I won't fool you. You don't just sit down and write the book.
Right.
It takes an enormous amount of effort, rewrites. I can't tell you how many rewrites I had before I got it to this point.
How many hours do you think you spent in writing this book?
How many hours? We don't think books. Someone asks us that, like, hours? I have no idea.
I don't know if my calculator has enough digits to go that far. An enormous amount.
Right.
It really takes and this was my first book. The second book and the sequel is almost complete. That's gone much quicker. It's an enormous amount of effort. You really have to focus on what that passion is, how to take your characters and allow your characters to actually come to life and tell you what they want to
I always think a book writes you. You don't write the book.
Exactly.
Well, and writing the book, it doesn't stop there. So then you brought the book to LA. There's a sequel, and now that's so LA. You're in the process of trying to make this a movie.
This is true. I am.
That's another marathon, another epic battle.
Right. But isn't that what this is all about? I mean, I think anybody out there just thinking about, they're going, these people are crazy in LA. They're all like doing these dreams. Who do they think they are? He's a photographer, now he's an author, like what, But this is the point. This is why I love LA so much, is because this is where people, the dreamers, and some of people are delusional in this town. Let's get it straight.
You have to be a little.
You have to be a little delusional. You gotta be a little crazy.
A healthy amount of delusion goes a long way.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting because we talk a lot about studies, and most people that are even happy are a little bit delusional. We're all a little delusional, and successful people are a little bit more so. So it's in a very healthy way, right? I mean, you have to believe that the book is going to be, a fantastic. You're going to get a fantastic outcome out of it, or you're going to start I mean, if you don't think you're going to finish, how do you start?
You're
Right?
100%
Yeah.
right. I never thought I could be an author. It was one of my. It was really my bucket list.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people want to in Africa. You know, I'll pick up the phone and make a reservation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
This was my personal bucket list to
Ditto.
become that author.
Wow.
I still remember as a little boy, about 6 years old, when my mother signed me up for a book, and the first book arrived. I was so excited.
What was
I still
the book?
remember that. Oh my gosh, it might have been Curious George. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cute. Oh, Curious George.
Yeah.
We love that. So what tips would you give somebody? Somebody's out there, they want to write a book. What tips would you tell them?
I would tell them to be as persistent as possible and to write a little bit every single day. If you write a little bit every single day, it could be a page, it could be a paragraph, it could be 10 pages. If you stay consistent, it's like anything else. You'll get better and better at it. It's like going to the gym.
That's how we do. I'm big on 30-day challenges, 30 and 40-day challenges. That's how I wrote my book. I started doing like blogs for myself and different inputs and whatever, and that's how it. People are like, you write the outline and then whatever. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I didn't get that memo. Like it was so hard how I did it. But I agree every day.
I had no outline. I had literally the characters will tell you what to do.
Right?
It's beautiful. I love that.
Okay, so I also, because I promised everybody, you'd give us tips on how to get a good headshot. So what's the real ticket?
Well, the real ticket on a headshot is to
Lighting. It's all about lighting.
Well, okay,
Everyone knows that.
If you're not in Los Angeles, I mean, anywhere in the world, you're carrying a card. The people of LA, on their business card, they've got an 8x10 with their face on it.
Right.
I mean, you are your business, you are your brand. To have a good headshot in LA is
imperative,
essential.
And it's becoming actually much more important everywhere, right? Even resumes these days want a good hot headshot.
LinkedIn profiles.
Right, exactly. Even if you're taking a selfie.
Right.
So these tips will be helpful for everyone.
I think one great tip is that when the person gets in front of the camera, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, that's going to be captured. So
Isn't that true?
you really need to have your head in the right place. So you have to have that delusional thought that this is going to be my big break.
Completely.
Yeah.
As
Right?
we were just
Yeah.
saying.
But
Right?
that's not very easy for just anybody to get into that mindset and to elude that emotion. I know even when I was modeling, they say, think about something happy, and I'm like, I'm happy, and they're like, you're not happy right now. I had one photographer, he was like, puppies. Puppies. And I was like, okay, puppies. But I mean, it's really hard because a lot of times when people get in front of a camera, they get really nervous or really insecure that you're going to capture an imperfection.
Well, and that's the wonders of digital photography. And that's what I'm going to tell every client who steps in front of my camera. Don't worry about the blinkies or the bad shots. We're going to delete those. We're keeping all the good ones. But I like to focus them on what their dreams are and what their objectives are. If they want to do a feature film, I want to put them in the role of what they want to be in that film. Do you want to be a female detective? Do you want to be in a Western? Do you want, whatever that is, I want them in that mindset. I will capture exactly what they want.
So true. We do. You look at a picture says 1,000 words or whatever, and we read subconsciously so much going on within one picture. But so I just want to say thank you for coming. I'm really excited about your book. I'm excited about just everyone's dreams coming alive. And I know that you just got into a great bookstore in Los Angeles.
Actually, it's in New York City.
New York City.
It's the world famous Strand bookstore.
Congratulations.
Just north of Union Square. It's an iconic bookstore, and it's just a privilege to be a part of their family of authors.
Yeah.
Well, it's a privilege to have you be here as a part of Good Morning LaLa Land and the Focus TV family.
So nice to meet you,
So excited that you're
Gerry.
officially an LA family member of ours. And how else can they find you? Social media?
Social media, they can find me on my website, geraldlerner.com. They can find me on Facebook and Instagram as well, Gerry Lerner Photography.
Okay.
You can find him carving those mountains. 8 miles. 8 miles. He's carving some canyons right there.
You guys are all welcome.
Right? So you can find him at geraldlerner.com and then on social media as Gerald Lerner as well. So have a great, I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for all your time.
Great to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to
Thank
take a
you
little
so
break. And when we come back, we're going to just kind of do a recap on our challenges of the month.
Yeah.
What's happening with Karma Coin, all those good things. So stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back for our final segment of Good Morning LaLa Land. So, how was your day so far, you guys?
It's phenomenal. I get to be here with you guys. It's always a phenomenal day.
How was your day, Los Angeles? If you are out there and you are watching, thank you so much for tuning in with us today. And DM us, send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, leave us a comment on YouTube. We would love to hear your feedback on today's show.
For sure. And remembering that each day we come together to make shift happen. We have Monday, which is all about motivation and inspiration. Tuesday is all about Transformational Tuesday, which is about health and wellness. Wednesdays, all about Wednesday wisdom and wealth wisdom, bringing leadership and going, where do you go in LA to learn more, grow more in your business? Thursday is all about thought, attitude stuff, and Friday is about dating, love, and relationships. So I'm super excited for that one. So,
love that.
And what about the games and all that?
I thought we were going to do the seance first with Jeslyn.
On our last segment, we were talking to Gerry Lerner, who is an incredible photographer just coming from New York to LA. We're so excited to have him as part of the family. He was talking about anti-aging and growth, and he was saying something about like the cell seance. And so apparently, I'm going to need to work on that, and I'm going to go do some sauna work with Dr. Erin, since she claimed that was great, and have a little cell seance there this weekend after the show.
Right. So any events you're going to head to tonight?
Any events? No, not tonight. Probably going to try to get some sleep. What about you ladies? Yeah.
Well, I've been a little under the weather, quite frankly. I haven't brought it up because it's like what my home could be burning, and so it's like I could deal with a little bit under the weather. But I'm surprisingly feeling a lot better today than I was the last 24 hours. So I'm gonna just roll with that one.
Yeah, tonight I'm so excited. I've been studying under one of the senior reporters here in LA at the UCLA Education Extension Program, and that was really cool to kind of be able to go back to school, to challenge myself, to learn in a different way. And so we're celebrating our last class tonight, so I'm really excited.
That's very exciting. And that's the one thing I want to bring up, that in Los Angeles we have such great colleges that if there's, as far as being educated or getting involved with community, I mean, we're just going to have to showcase a lot of the colleges around here, and so many events going on all the time, right?
Absolutely. So if you have anything going on at your particular college or university, please, write us on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find us.
So this is really a community-based morning show, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. PST. And this is all about showcasing the lifestyle in Los Angeles, bringing consciousness, knowing what events are going on, bringing in some of the hot topics and news. But this is really about bringing us all together.
And P.S. we are making history here, you two. I mean, which is such an incredible opportunity. History as America's first live streaming daily lifestyle talk show, Monday through Friday. It's so incredible to be here with you guys. I'm really excited to be a part of this.
Rolls off your tongue so easily, Jeslyn. It's amazing.
We're out of time, but we are loving spending our mornings with you guys. So join us tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We'll see you then. Have a great day.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Okay, all right.
Another one in the can, guys.